Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalam ala rasulillah. We're back with the 19th ayat from Surah as-Sajdah, almost 2/3 of the way through this surah, where Allah Azza wa Jalla says, after asking, أَفَمَنْ كَانَ مُؤْمِنًا كَمَنْ كَانَ فَاسِقًا, is the believer like the criminal or the disbeliever, the disobedient one? لَا يَسْتَوُونَ, they're not equal. أَمَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ فَلَهُمْ جَنَّاتُ الْمَأْوَى نُزُلًا بِمَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. أَمَّا, as for, الَّذِينَ, those who, آمَنُوا, believed, wa, and amilu, and performed, as-salihat, righteous actions. فَلَهُمْ, then for them, jannatul ma'wa, jannatul ma'wa, the gardens of abode, the gardens of, let's see how they translate it here in the Noble Quran. For them are gardens as entertainment, ma'wa, entertainment, or as an abode. Nuzulan is more so the word for entertainment here. Nuzulan, nuzul is the plural of nazil, and nuzul or nazil is what you provide for a guest when they come to see you. Nuzulan here means basically as this, it's an adverb. So nuzulan, as this, when someone comes to your house, you provide them tea or coffee and dates and some sweets and maybe a juice and a glass of water. You provide them with, something. This is like nuzul or nazil. Nuzul is the plural. So this nuzul and entertainment, something, that's what they call it. You entertain your guests, right? So you provide this for them. This nuzulan. So they have this jannatul ma'wa, and ma'wa is meaning a place of return, a place or a final abode, which in the tafsir will become clearer, inshallah. Nuzulam as an entertainment, bima kanu ya'malun, for what or due to what kanu they used to, ya'malun, used to do. أما الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات, as for those who believe and do righteous good deeds, فلهم, then for them, jannatul ma'wa, are these gardens of eternal abode, nuzulan, as an entertainment, bima kanu ya'malun, for what they used to do. This is the meaning of the ayah. And if I ever go through a word too quickly in any of the classes, feel free to ask me. When you ask it in the comments, inshallah, put a timestamp for where it's at so that it's easy to go back and exactly what you're referring to. It just makes it easier when answering the question. As for the grammar of the ayat, amma is harf shart with tafsir, but it's a harf. There is no grammar to it. When we talk about i'rab of a word, then we're only talking about fi'l mudari and asma, most nouns. But so in Arabic, we have three parts of speech. We have nouns, we have verbs, and we have particles. Particles, there's no i'rab. Nouns, there's i'rab on most of them, right? As for verbs, then there's i'rab only on present tense, because past tense and command verbs, and those are our three types of verbs, past, present, and command, then past and command are mebni, they don't change. So the only time we have really i'rab and we have to deal with the grammar is in the present tense verb and in nouns. So when we talk about harf, a particle, Then here, amma is mabni al sukoon. It's stagnant on the sukoon, it doesn't change. Alladhina is ismu mawsul. Again, it is mabni al sukoon. Alladhina. Mabni fi mahal raf mubtada. It's in a position of being a marfu as the mubtada, the subject. As for those, amanu fil madi mabni ala dhamma, right? Mabni ala dhamma, and the wow at the end of it fi mahal raf fa'il. It is the doer of the belief, the doer of the action. Wa amilu, wa is harfu atf. Amanu or amilu is ma'tuf ala amanu, so it's the same thing. Amilu is a fil madi, mabni ala dhamma, and the wow is fi mahal raf fa'il. Salihati is maf'ulun bihi mansub. Maf'ulun bihi mansub. And the sign of it being mansub here is a kasra, because that's how sound feminine plurals become mansub with a kasra. Falahum, fa is a harf lil-jawab, and the lam is a jar, harf jar. It's a preposition. Hum is a damir mu'tasil, an attached pronoun, but it's in its mabni ala sukoon on the meme, but it's in the position fi mahal jar, after the harf jar. Jannatun, falahum jannatun. Jannat or jannatu is the mubtada muakhar marfu'. Jannatu lahum. Lahum is your shibhu jumla khabar, right? Jannatu lahum or jannatul ma'wa lahum. So jannatu is your mubtada muakhar marfu' wa alamatu raf'ihi ad-dhamma. Al-ma'wa is mudaf ilay majroor wa alamatu jarrihi al-kasra al-muqaddara on this ya. Mamnu' min al-dhuhur li-ta'adhur. It's not possible to be able to be seen because of the ya. فَلَهُمْ جَنَّاتُ الْمَأْوَى نُزُلًا. Nuzulan is mansub as the hal. The hal of Jannat. How is it? What is this? How are these gardens? What is the condition of them? They are nuzulan. They are entertainment. Nuzulan, bima, ba is harf jar, ma is ism mawsul, but it's mabni ala sukoon, fi mahal jar. Kanu, kana is a fi'l madi, nasikh, means it has an ism and a khabar. The ism is marfu' and the khabar is mansub. The ismu kana here is a damir mustatir taqdiruhu hum kanu ya'malun. Ya'malun is a fi'l mudari marfu' wa alamatu raf'ihi thubut an-nun, and the wow here is fi mahal raf fa'il, and ya'malun is going to be in a position of being mansub because it is the khabar of kana. This is your grammar of this ayah. As for the tafsir, and sometimes the tafsir comes with some really nice fawaid, and sometimes it's just straightforward, and there's not a lot to say regarding the meanings. Before this ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke about the two groups in the hereafter, the believers and the disbelievers. And after that, he mentioned their conditions in the dunya. So he mentioned how they will be in the hereafter. And then he mentioned their conditions in the dunya, that some of them are arrogant and they turn away from the ayah, while the believers listen to the ayah and they fall down prostrating and they remember Allah, glorify Him and His praises, and they forsake their beds, making dua, supplication to Him with hope and fear, or fear and hope. Also, Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned the believer and the fasiq, that they're not equal. They're not equal. He mentioned this in general terms. Then he actually now begins to mention the details of it. Why are they not equal? Why are they not equal? Because those who believe and do righteous actions, أَمَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ فَلَهُمْ جَنَّاتُ الْمَأْوَى. For them are these eternal gardens, these gardens of eternity, right? Those who believed in what was required of them to believe, and whatever that belief necessitated, they did it. They acted upon it with sincerity and in following the Prophet, following the Sharia that Allah sent down on the tongue and the actions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. For them in the hereafter are gardens which will be eternal for them. They will be established therein forever, never coming out of them. That's the meaning of ma'wa, an eternal abode. Nuzulan bima kanu ya'malun, meaning a diyafatan. This is what you, like we said, what you show your guests when they come. Karimatan, how you honor your guests, right? Welcoming them. This is going to be something to welcome them and to give them, because of what they used to do in this life from iman in Allah Azza wa Jal and acts of obedience that are connected to that iman. As we said, it's pretty straightforward. So inshallah ta'ala, we'll conclude with this. And we'll come back with ayat number 20 tomorrow. After that, inshallah, after tomorrow class will be at the same time. After that, we're going to move the class up 1 hour so that we can spend the majority of our nights in Qiyam al-Layl. Instead of breaking it up, we'll move the class up so that we can have a longer time for Qiyam in the later part of the night, inshallah ta'ala. And since only a few people show live, I don't think it's going to really affect that many people. Most people watch the video afterwards. So just to let everyone know that we will move it up 1 hour after tomorrow night, inshallah ta'ala. جزاكم الله خيرا سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.